Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back once again to another Crooked Hat Show. Hey, welcome back once again, everybody, to Coffee with HDR here on another Saturday morning. And I tell you what, it's going to be a beautiful, bright, sunny day. We've been fighting rain here for the past, oh man, at least the past 3 or 4 days, I guess. It's been raining. It's been super hot, man. It's just been absolutely hot. And got like something in my eye. I don't know what's going on there this morning. Anyway, um, let me go through here first with some chat room visitors. Good morning, Daniel S. was here at 7:23. We'll get into the early start time in just a minute. Good morning, Road Glide Andy. Good morning to I've seen Harley Moonrider in there. Good morning to you. And also good morning to my friend there, Rocky J, Daniel S, Marcy or Marcella. I know we messed that name up last week. Bob Nelson, good morning. Harley 103 and the Smyrna Cowboys in the house with his brand new Spider. If you're not watching those videos, go over and check out Smyrna Cowboy. Let him walk you around that new Spider and the upgrades he's making already. Man, it's not only if you buy a Harley Davidson that you do upgrades. Apparently, when you buy a Spider, a Can-Am, you're gonna do some upgrades also. He's been putting some new stuff on that thing, and it's awesome to see that build. So you might want to go check out the Smyrna Cowboy. If you ever thought about a Spider, or maybe you kicked it around the idea, and there is so many. Good morning, Wind Road Therapy. Good morning. I gotta contact you for 2 weeks from now. Good morning, Henry. Henry is Iron Horse Riders. Yes, you do. Yeah, Smarty Cowboy. I've been seeing that. You're building that Spider up, my friend. And you know what? I think overall, right? Whatever we buy, whatever you purchase, whatever you have, you're making it your own, and you are definitely making that thing your own. So if you again, if you've ever thought about a Spider, maybe you're one of those people like, oh, the Spider's ugly. I like a trike, and I like trikes. Trikes are fine, but a Spider is so much easier to handle, man. It's got that power steering in the front. And it's just an awesome ride. So I like it. I don't know. I like the automatic shifting up and down, the way it shifts back and forth. You come to a stoplight, it downshifts to first gear for you. It prepares itself. So pretty awesome stuff. Good morning to Lemon. Good morning to you. Nice to have you in there. And Paul, good morning, Paul. Good to see you on board this morning. WRT, good morning. Oh, okay, Windrow Therapy. Anyway, let's get into first of all here. Why is HDR up so early? Why is HDR doing this show at 7:30 instead of 8 o'clock? What is wrong with him? Why does he have all these different time slots? Why can't he stay consistent? Well, my buddy Henry there came over the other day and we did a garage video together. And Henry, we're not going to tell you guys what we did in the garage. He came over and we started chit-chatting a little bit. Good morning, John. Good to have you on board this morning, Daniel S. Your wife has a Spider. She loves it, Dan. Hey, I think they are awesome. It's an amazing ride. If you've never demoed one, go out and test ride one. I think you're going to fall in love. So anyway, my man Henry was over the other day. We did a garage video. That video is coming out tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is an awesome, awesome garage video. I want everybody to make sure load that video up first thing in the morning, man. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., you're going to check that video out. And both of us are in the video. It turned out amazing. And Henry says, hey, buddy, he says, we got to get that boat out, man. We got to go fishing. I said, yes, sir, you're right. You're right. We do got to go and get some fish. We've been collecting fish here to have a fish fry. Well, there's a lake that's not far from us called Lake Arthur, and it's at Moraine State Park. So if you want to look that up on your maps, Moraine, I think it's Moraine State Park. It's Lake Arthur, and we are going there today. If you're fishing, you should be on the lake by now. Harley 103, you are absolutely right. And good morning, John Franklin. Nice to have you on board. You are exactly right. And let me tell you, Harley 103, Henry called me last night and said, can you do your show live from on the lake? And I said, I don't know what kind of internet service they're going to have on the lake. That would have been awesome, right? for you guys to see the both of us sitting out in the boat on our phone doing this live show. That would have been awesome. But here's the ticket, folks, and you know me. I've been consistent with this show. The show must go on. Even last week when I was with Bodine, was it last Saturday? Yeah, we were up in the in Ohio riding a triple nickel and having a good time up there. I still did the show because the show must go on. I love doing this. I love hanging out with all you folks and just you coming in here every Saturday morning, giving me an hour of your time and me sharing an hour of my time with you. We've got this great connection going on. I don't want to stop this thing. It's on a nice roll. I want to keep us rolling along together. So, um, but anyway, Marcy said you're late. I don't know who that was to. Bad week, lost a very close friend, Road Glide Andy. That's very sad to hear. I hope it wasn't the one. He was like 42 years old. I heard that happen recently. There was a pretty bad motorcycle accident. And I don't know who it was. I didn't recognize the name. Maybe that's Road Glide Andy's friend. We're very, very sorry to hear that. Anytime anybody loses their lives in any traffic accident, it's just unparalleled. That you can go out riding even in your car, not in a motorcycle. We can go on a vacation, right, in a plane, and something go wrong. And when something like that happens, it's very unexpected. It even hits home harder. It's very sad to lose a friend or a colleague anytime. So, but anyway, that's not why we're here. We're going to say our condolences to their family, and we're going to move on through the show. So, Harley Dayride, 74 rolled his tractor. I don't know who 74 is. Not really sure who that is, but maybe you can text me later. Road Glide Andy, let me know the particulars there. Doug, good morning to you. No riding this week. You said you are in the SUV. So anyway, many of you know I've showed you pictures that me and myself and Henry Eureka. You're going to see him again on that video tomorrow morning. 74 years old. Okay, I gotcha. Traveling to Frankfort, Kentucky, Lexington, and Louisville for the bourbon trial. Doug, man, I would be with you in a minute for that. For the bourbon trials, good to go, man. Good to go. Bob, don't forget to be aware of the funeral procession in where today to adjust the travels accordingly. All right, so there you go. There's some news coming up in the feed here too, so that's very cool. And I think it's even cool when we do this show together each Saturday morning that the chat room is becoming friends with each other, right? It's becoming an intricate part of what we do here, and you guys can chat amongst yourself too, and you know each other. You're learning each other's names, and that's awesome. That's awesome. So, all right. Anyway, the myself and Henry, there's been working, and we got that boat trailer all done. We got we upgraded the boat trailer to the LED lights, right? Like my friends here from Custom Dynamics, but they don't do LED lights. All right, they not for a boat. I mean, they don't do LED lights for boats. They do LED lights for motorcycles. They're doing a ton of stuff right now. They have new lights coming out that I can't talk about just yet because they'll have to make their announcements on those. But they do, and they are working on a lot of Indian products. So that was nice to see. And during our live show, when we had the owner on, we actually talked to him and said, look, why aren't you doing Indian products? And he said, we're doing a few, and now they're starting to get more in the gear with it, more in the line with it, and rolling some more Indian stuff out. So that's awesome to see. There's a lot of Indian owners out there. I mean, granted, there's a lot of, I think they would be good. And I told him also, I said, it might not be a bad idea for you to do Honda Goldwing products because there's a lot of people buying these new Goldwings. And maybe you want some LED stuff out there. So Paul said, thanks, Paul. And I was actually thinking about you when I talked to him. I said, man, we need some more Indian stuff, And I was thinking about Paul riding that beautiful Indian he rides. And he was talking to us at VAM. We took a ride together to a Harley dealer. and he was talking to us a little bit about custom dynamics and creating lights for Indians, and they didn't have a whole lot of products, so they are working on it, and they are putting some effort forth on that. And I can't complain. Custom Dynamics is, is a great company. I mean, yeah, they do sponsor the lights on the bike. I do the videos for them. It's a trade-off. But they are just, even without that, I mean, they are an awesome company. And that's where I would buy all my lighting from. Getting Black Beauty all ready up for the mini VAM today. That's great. I talked to Mr. G last night. Actually, Mr. G sent me a text. I told him, wake up early, bud, and be here. And he's like, I get up kind of early. Well, of course you do, because you're within our age group. We all wake up early, right? I've been up since, I don't know, 4 o'clock this morning. So we all get up early. And and I talked to Mr. G, and he pulled my arm and he begged me to come, and I really, really, really want to go. Here's the issue. That first week, even myself and Miss HR looked at the calendar last night and said, wait, maybe I could pull this off and be able to go and be with my buddies. But that first week is when we have our students coming back into the classroom. And that is the first Friday of the first week. There he is, Mr. G 1965. You made it out of bed. I was just talking about you, bud. You must have been, your ears must have been burning a little bit. So I told Mr. G, look, I can't. I was going to try to even get off work Friday, because I get off at 3 o'clock, get on the bike and head straight down to the minivan. And then ride with you guys and do whatever you're doing together on Saturday, and then come home Sunday. But going back to work Monday morning is going to be a drag, man, after all that, because I would be beat. You guys know that. A lot of you guys are retired, right? And that's a good thing. A lot of you guys are retired. But and like I said, that's awesome. And, in another, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, I'll be retired and I can come be with you guys and hang out with you all the time, right? We could do mini VAM months at that time. I'll come down for a month. I'll pop a tent in Mr. G's front yard and spend a whole month with the man, because I think it'd be awesome. I think we'd have a good time, maybe do some videos with him in front of the shout out wall. Mr. G is to me, he's the first original Mr. Shout Out man that there ever was. I mean, he created that whole shout out thing, and that's awesome. Now we all do it to a very small extent. We all give a little shout out. I put my coffee back on the heater here. We all give a little shout out, like every now and then, to other YouTubers, but he is the king of the shout outs. So Harley Dayryer, we could do that. Even come back Saturday evening. It wouldn't be worth it, Andy. It just wouldn't be worth it. I mean, because by the time you get down there and you wake up Saturday, you do a ride. These guys are going out for Mexican food Saturday night, which we would obviously miss that. Have to ride back. It wouldn't be worth it. I mean, I liked to be able to go there for like 4 days. So, and I know the minivan is 4 days, but there's no way I'll get off work for 4 days. Not now. So, but anyway, so, that was a pipe dream of mine. I don't know why this time thing's sitting here. That's really weird. I don't know why that is. Huh. I don't know. Maybe I move us away from here. Back here. Nope. Still there. That's kind of weird. But anyway, that would be, like I said again, amazing to be able to do. But I'll just have to wait until the one next summer. Mr. G's, I'm sure we'll make an announcement. There'll be one next June again. And in June and July, I'm pretty good. I can pretty much go anywhere I want to go in June and July. I get that work release program going on, and I don't have to be there. So I get time to go out and travel around. So, but anyway, once I retire, guys, I will be there all the time with you other retirees, and we'll be retired together. We can sit around, eat donuts, and drink coffee. And what an awesome feeling, I did tell Bodine last week, and see, Smyrna Cowboy's going to make VAM next year. So when he makes VAM next year, I'll be there. I'll be there, because I'm going to meet this guy too and shake his hand. And that was nice with Mr. G. Like he said, when he texted me last night, we sat up there at that motorcycle shop with his family, and myself. I felt like part of his family when he shook my hand and I sat down with him. I just felt like I was part of his family, like I'd fit right in, and that's awesome. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And maybe next year I'll be able to shake Mr. Smyrna Cowboy's hand and say, and actually see that lovely spider firsthand. He might even let me touch the seat or something. I mean, that's pretty amazing. To be able to touch the Smyrna Cowboys bike, you'd be on top of the world, on top of the world. So other than that, that's what we're doing this morning. That's why the show started at 7:30, because myself and Henry's been talking about fishing here for the past 3 days, and like I said, I think that was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday we shot the garage video. We worked on that together with an upgrade on the motorcycle. So that's coming out again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we wanted to do some fishing, but the rain has been pushing us back. And even Miss HR said when she came down after we got done, see that Smyrna Cowboy, no, it would be my honor, my friend, my honor to shake your hand. You guys are great. All you guys in here, and a lot of you at this point, I've met personally. I've shook your hand, and Rogue Glad Andy is he's a pretty close friend of mine. You guys know. I mean, he stops by the house whenever, because I'm right on his way to work and on his way home from work. Sometimes he'll just pull in the driveway. It's like one day he stopped. Actually, I was taking a nap. I'm sorry about that, but that happens. But he told me, guys, and I never realized this. I went to shake his hand goodbye because my dad always said, whenever you leave a man or say hello to a man, you should shake their hand. So if somebody's visiting your house and they're going to leave, shake their hand. Tell them have a good day. And my dad believed in that because he said, you'll never know if you'll be able to shake that man's hand again. Always remember that. So, yeah, my dad's watching right now. I got a picture of him on the wall. He's watching over me right now. So he knows I'm not lying, because that picture will fall off the wall. That's what happens. If I start lying and say something my dad said and he didn't say it, his picture will fall off the wall, because that's him telling me, shut up, son. I didn't never said that. But anyway, might be a little too deep this morning, right? So Rogue Glad Andy's here, and we're talking a little bit. Well, I go to shake his hand when he goes to leave, and he takes his glove off. He said his dad told him you never shake a man's hand with a glove on. And all of us are motorcyclists. We all have gloves on pretty much all the time, right? And you go to shake. So now I'm going to remember that always. Always. So if I meet you and I'm taking a second to take my glove off, just remember, never shake a man's hand with a glove on. Okay? Something to remember. Going back here to look a little bit. Paul, good morning. Paul says, do you take off the ankle? Do they let you take off the ankle tracker? Yeah. Yeah, Paul, you mean when I'm on my work release? Yeah. Or no, it shouldn't. No, I don't know if you call it work release, because that's to go to work. This is like summer release where I don't have to go to work. And now myself and my wife have to go back to work, which is very interesting. And I mean, I was back. How about hugs? Harley 103. I am a hugger. I am. I met Ty from Tennessee, him and his wife, at VAM, and we were going to part ways. They were going home. We were going to do our things. And Ty said, he said, I'm from Tennessee. We hug. And, you shake your hand, give a little man hug, a little pat on the back, not like a big, like embracing hug. That wouldn't be right. So you shake your hand, give a little pat on the back, say, brother, we'll see you next time, and that's the way you part ways. So yeah, Harley 103. Sure. Yeah. Man hugs are cool. Even Miss HDR gets actual hugs from other motorcycle guys, because when they see her, they want to give her a hug. So I'm not gonna like argue or fight anybody. That's cool, and I'll hug their wife goodbye. I said I'm a hugger, so I give them a little hug. So that's a good question, Harley 103. Thanks, man. Thanks for bringing that up. Nap time is 2 to 4. Smarty Cowboy, 2 to 4. My nap time ordinarily, when I get off work, come home, is 4 to 5. Because, you come home, you got to unwind a little bit. You can't just fall right to sleep, but usually if it's a stressful day, it could be 3 to 4, but usually 4 to 5. And Rocky J, good morning to you. And Hog Driver, good morning. Good to have you on board there this morning. Good to see you guys with us here. So, oh, where is Minivam? Yes, Minivam is, Bob got it, Tazewell, Virginia. Uh, it's a nice little place. There's two very, very, very nice, sleek hotels. One's a Holiday Inn. And I think we stayed at a Comfort Inn. So they're on both sides of the town. And they're like 15 to 20-minute ride into the little town of Tazewell. So, but they are your bigger hotels. And then a lot of these guys stayed at a place called, is it Finch or Flinch Hotel? Flinch? Or it might be Finch. It must be Finch Hotel because it was Finch Motorworks, right? So I guess it's the town of Finch, I guess. But Mr. G can clear that up more than I can. Roguelite Andy said he gets home and he goes right to work. But Roguelite Andy is the youngest out of this whole entire group. He is like the young man, full of energy, full of fit, and he's built like, what do they say? He's built like a brick house. He's tough. He's tough as nails, and he can leap tall buildings in a single bound. Yes, Roguelite Andy. Uh, but yeah, okay. Finch Castle is the name of the hotel. Um, that's right, Mr. G. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up this morning. Time to get up. And good morning to you, Be the Rider PA. I see you're in there. HMR and HDR. Yeah, thanks, and happy to have you in there this morning with us. Yeah, and somebody says this too. We are talking about shaking hands, and somebody brings up two very good points. And my dad said that before too. And if I'd walk into my dad's house, now it's my dad, right? My dad was 70-ish. And I'd walk into his house. He would do two things. One, if he's watching a really good movie, my dad loves Westerns. Say he's watching John Wayne, right? The Duke. He'd reach over, he'd grab the remote, and he'd turn the TV off. I mean, off. And we didn't have DVRs. My dad didn't have a DVR or VCR or anything, right? He turned it off. He would stand up from the chair, from his recliner, walk over and shake my hand as I walked into his house. And then he would ask me if I'd like a cup of coffee. And he would direct his girlfriend to go pour us some coffee. My dad was a product of that era where he wasn't a chauvinist by any means, but my dad, maybe a lot of your dads was this way. They grew up where the woman took care of everything. Okay. And that's just the way he grew up. He wasn't a bad man. He did dishes occasionally for my mom, and he did when they were married. But if somebody came in that house, he'd say, "Excuse me, can you go get us some coffee?" And at that time, he had a girlfriend living with him. Or they lived together, I guess, shared resources. And she would go get the coffee or make fresh coffee for us. So, but he did. Old school HDR. You're right, Smyrna Cow, just old school. My dad was old school, man. When him and my mother got divorced, and it was sad, I'd go see him in his little one room efficiency apartment that he was able to rent. And my mom kept the house because she had us. The old thing, you know how that works. So dad gets this efficiency apartment, right? Well, dad, he couldn't even heat a can of soup. We didn't have a microwave. My dad didn't have a microwave for years, right? They didn't have microwaves. And you'd have to put everything on the stove. And he could cook a hot dog, he'd get by and make himself a hot dog or something. But dad couldn't cook because guys didn't cook back then. Men, guys didn't cook. And any women in here, it's not that any chauvinistic stuff with my dad. That was the era that they grew up in. They did the work. I remember when we first went to school, this will give you some insight of HDR. So if you ever want some insight of HDR, I'm going to give you some today. Mr. McStash, good morning to you, brother. Good to have you on board there. Good to have you in there this morning. Just telling a couple of stories there about times gone by with my old man, right? We're talking about shaking hands. So somebody said you have to stand up. My dad always stood up and shook your hand, right? That's just something he did. So, you're in the Mohawk Valley between Little Falls and Herkimer. Rocky J, that's cool, man. You're out there somewhere on the road, and you're checking in with Coffee with HDR. That's good. That's good. Well, and I think Road Glide Andy, and talking to him and Mrs. HDR, we know Road Glide Andy very well. We know his wife very well, and he has that kind of relationship. Not that he's a chauvinist pig. Maybe he is. Maybe Road Glide Andy is. No, he's not. He's a really good man. Um, but he works. He does all the work, and his wife does all the housework, and that's their relationship, and that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, so my dad, it was a lot of people back in that time. Guys couldn't cook. We were out with my brother-in-law last night. My brother-in-law's 63, and his wife said he couldn't cook a frozen pizza. Like he wouldn't even know how to turn the temperature up on the oven because he's never had to do that. She's always done everything for him. So now he does make a bowl of cereal occasionally, or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He could probably pull that off, but he can't cook. And you guys know I love to cook. Watch my Instagram, watch my Facebook. I do 90% of the cooking at home. Mrs. HDR knows that because I grew up in the kitchen with my mother and I love to cook. And that blew my dad's mind. Why is my son in the kitchen with the woman? He should be outside, maybe mowing the grass, pulling weeds. We should be fishing. That would be a big thing with my dad too. Like, let's load up the car and go fishing. He say, you shouldn't be in there with your mother. Why are you in there to learn how to bake a cake, boys? There's something wrong with you. And that would be my dad. That's what he thought. I had two sisters. One time my mother said she needed help in the kitchen. He said, you got two daughters? He said, don't bring my son into this. Again, not a chauvinist, just the way men thought back then. So it's pretty cool. I would never want to grow up in a time different than when I grew up. I was born in the 60s. And I can't think of a better time to grow up. Today's world, folks, if you're raising children in today's world, and I have grandbabies, I feel so sorry for them. I just feel so sorry for them because this world is upside down. And not just what politically or whatever in the world's going on. I don't care about that. I'm talking daily stuff. The stuff they got to learn in school now is upside down. By the time the kid comes out of third grade, they want them to know everything that a current college professor would know. They just throw so much crap at these kids now, these poor kids. And Smarty Cowboy hears it. Hey, man, thanks, bro. Thanks. I'm telling the truth. You guys know I've been around for a long, long time. And, but there you go, Be the Rider PA. On the bike, watching Coffee with HDR. That is awesome. That is pure dedication or whatever. But yeah, anyways, and I get very emotional with that because you guys know I do teach, but I teach a very specific thing, right? I teach cybersecurity and networking. So, and I have adult children. Now, my wife teaches early childhood stuff. So she teaches very, very little kids, right? And the stuff that they're putting my wife through this year is just ridiculous. Not like, can Johnny tie his shoe? No. Does Johnny know his numbers 1 from 1,000 and can he write them all backwards? He's 4. Does it really, really matter? Does it? It doesn't matter, right? Hey, we should all be like the Amish. The Amish, people that we spend a lot of time in the Amish country, and in the Amish country, you graduate. Their schools only go to the 6th grade. No, wait, that's not right. Yes, it is 6th grade. You graduate out of the 6th grade. Now they can move on. They can go to like the public school system, wherever these Amish communities are, but they don't have to because you know everything you need to know by the 6th grade. So, Rogue said he does cook on the grill and on the smoker. I'm going to go back through some of these comments. I'm sorry. I kind of go on these little rambles in the morning. I guess Harley 103 said he was from upstate. Also, yes, upstate New York. Mr. G says he loves to cook. Problem is problem is can you eat it? Oh, I'm sure you can, Mr. G. I've seen you grill, Mr. G. If you want to see that video, check that video out too. Maybe Mr. G will link it to one of his other videos there where he's grilling outside. And Yeah, it's very hysterical. I think everybody will love it. I'm not going to tell you what happened. Mr. McStash, I have an amazing wife that can cook and bake. And yes, Mr. McStash, you do have an amazing wife, and she's a very, very nice person. And don't ever treat her badly. You got uh, somebody once told me with Mrs. HDR, they always told me that they said you have a winner every day. You should wake up, kiss her, and just say thank you because you have a winner. And you're the same way, you know. All you guys are. I know a lot of you guys as wives out there. And Kevin, good morning to you. Good to have you on board there. Absolutely been the truth between political correctness and race theory. Everything is basics out of it. Oh, race theory. Everything is upside down. Yeah, the whole world is, and I don't know. Well, yeah, I do. I know when most of you guys grow up because with YouTube, and if you're a YouTuber, you know you can watch your audience and see your target audience. You can see the age groups, and I know a lot of you guys are around my age, and that's awesome, right? I know the people that I talk to when I get out there on the motorcycle and I do a video, and I tell you a story about the 70s or about the 80s. It's going to relate because I know that you're about the same age group I am, and I know maybe you were a kid in the 70s, right? So we can relate to each other very easily. So I do like that part about YouTube. I think that's awesome. They don't even teach them how to sign their own name. Ridiculous. Have taken basics on. Yeah, real glad, Anthony. I could talk to you about education all day, people. I've been in education I supported educators for 20 years. And what I did with the support was I was a technology director in schools. So I managed all the computers, the networking, the systems. And I'd be in these classrooms and I'd be in big meetings with educators and talk to and get to listen to how they talk and what they decide. And when they took cursive out of school, now everybody knows what cursive is, right? When you're writing, you're right. You flow. You write with a pen or a pencil and you flow, right? When they started to remove that from the schools, I said, there's a problem there. Why would you do that? They said, well, nobody uses it. And sometimes when I am a certified or partly certified teacher right now, so I am learning how to become an educator, right? And I do teach. So I can make these statements by not sounding too off the wall because I'm kind of in the group. But sometimes educators make decisions like they've never been educated. Like, how did you, as a teacher or as an administrator or district supervisor, whatever, how did you buy your house? Did you print your name on everything? No, you got to sign your name on everything. Even if you use a credit card, sign here. What are they going to do now? Just put an X? They don't know. So I could go on with that with hours, though. Good morning, Trigly Ed. Good morning to you, Bodine52. Good morning to you. Let's see who else we got in here. Moto. Good morning, Moto. Good. Nice to have everybody in here this morning. I did put, and it's funny. It is so fun. Where is that coming from right there? Oh, that's not good. Nobody even told me my light pole was in the way of my Indian motorcycle. My light pole was like right there. That's kind of weird. Morning, Ricky KM. Good morning to you. And Henry is such a good friend of mine and such a comrade. Every day around his house, he can come. We should probably just give the man a key to our house. He can come over whenever he wants. I just told him Henry is he has been a part of our family for generations now. I mean, I met the guy when I worked at a school district. He worked there, and we created this natural bond somehow of being very, very good friends. And now he's just like part of the family. But yeah, I should give him the key to the house. But anyway, so last night we're talking about this fishing trip today, and he goes, "Well, wait, if you do that show at 7:30, did you let everybody know?" See what I mean? He's looking out for me. He knows that this show is going to happen, and we talked about leaving the house at 9, but we have like an hour and 40-minute drive with the boat, so we want to get on the road as soon as we can. I knew we weren't going to cancel the show. That's not going to happen. He wanted to do the show on the boat, which would have been awesome, but we don't know how their internet was, or we would have been already up there fishing. That would have been cool. Maybe what I'll do later, you know what, guys? Look for that later on my YouTube channel. See if you see a live stream pop up. If we have good cell phone connection, maybe we'll do an improv live stream on my phone in the boat out on this Moraine State Park at Lake Arthur. It won't be long. If you see it pop up, say hi. If not, don't worry about it, but it will forever live in my YouTube feed. So Dean Roberts, good morning to you. Yeah, the show on the boat would have been awesome. It would have been really cool to be able to do that. So click that like button, y'all. Hey, Smarty Cowboy, man, you're getting 2 handshakes. I'm gonna be like, yes, shaking both your hands, my friend. He says, hit that like button. Hit that like button. We all do that, don't we? Don't we? Moto, good morning to you. Don't we all do that though in our videos? Like click that like, share, subscribe button, and click that bell notification. So that way when I post a video, you'll know I posted a video. It's awesome. It's awesome. This is the greatest community in the world. And I have to say that. Now, okay, here's something. Myself and Bodine 52 has been hung up on these videos for this week. It's called Miami Boat Ramp. Miami Boat Ramp is the YouTube channel. Don't watch it right now because you're watching this show, but you're going to check it out later. Miami Boat Ramp. And it is just, I usually don't comment on really, and you guys might do this too. Maybe you don't. Like really, 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 really big channels. Now, here's something I can tell you is, I made a few comments to Adam Sandoval, and he's gotten back to me, and I've been pretty impressed by that. Same with Sean Smoke. I've made comments with him, and he actually refers back to me as HDR. So he must have heard of me somewhere, which is very, very cool, right? I even told Miss HR, showed her his comments, like, look, he said HDR. He didn't say Harley. He might have shortened it on his own, but it was impressive. So you do get some comments back, but this channel, Miami Boat Ramps, has like, I don't know, 45,000 subscribers or something like that, or I don't know. But I made a comment the other day. I said, maybe some people just shouldn't buy boats. Here's the trick with a boat is just because you can afford a boat probably doesn't mean you should buy one. Right. And if you buy one, take it out there and learn how to drive it a little bit. Now, these people are absolutely crazy. They absolutely something. Restraining order against your wife is how he knows you. Bodine 52 is funny. Yeah, he did have to write my name on the restraining order that she was married to me, because I think they put her name on there as Mrs. HDR. So Harley 103 has seen the boat ramp videos. Wow. Yeah, aren't they just amazing? I mean, sometimes you can get into a YouTube thing and you start looking, and you guys know that I fish. I love to fish. So I watch fishing videos. Somebody the other day left me a comment. I don't know who it was. Pastor, you guys probably know him. He watches a lot of the videos. He comments on a lot of people's videos. Super sweet guy, right? And he posted on, he said, HDR, how many YouTube videos do you watch? Right? Because I think it was on the video I posted, like, what do viewers want to see? And people put on that I don't know, I complained too much, or I worried too much about what people are. I just want to know, like, what you like to see. Like this morning, the story about my dad, that's a personal story that I have that I like to share with people. Do you like that? Or do you want something like, I put new handlebars on my motorcycle. They're 12-inch mini ape hangers, and what the brands are. I mean, maybe you like that. But he put on there, he said, HDR, do you watch any YouTube videos? Or how many YouTube videos do you watch? I'm like, I watch a ton of YouTube videos. I have a smart TV, and we don't have cable anymore. So what happens is when you cut your cable is you tend to find other things to watch. And this past week, every time Mrs. HDR walked in the living room, she's like, are you watching another Miami boat ramp video? I said, yes, I am. They are amazing. It's just, I watched this poor guy this morning. It looked like, his family's out, maybe a newer boat. And he went to turn the wheel. Now, the thing is with boats, and we don't have that type. We don't have a boat with a steering wheel on it, right? I've driven the boats with the steering wheel, but when people think it's like turning a car wheel, like you got to turn it. No, you just got to give it a little turn, and that engine will just kick sideways, right? That engine turns left and right. All right, almost like an aileron on an airplane, right? Because it goes left and right. Okay, so you just give it a little. Well, they want to overcompensate. Well, he had the boat in a spin, and he cracks the dock, and he bends the rail on the outside of his boat. He was not a happy man, right? and uh, and he slams the dash, and that's probably not going to help either because now you're going to make a thing in the dash. But what I'm telling you about that for is they are just funny, funny, funny to watch. So if you ever get the opportunity, man, check it out. Um, I need to hook up with Bodine as I live in his neck of the woods. Yes, and Bodine, 52. Dusty in the Wind, good morning to you. Uh, Haulover Inlet is rough. I used to hang out there a lot before it. Yeah, that inlet is really rough looking. Like I don't even. It's scary. Here's what's on our local boat ramp. I'll get to this real quick. Is our local boat ramp. Now we have lakes. We're not on the ocean. Okay, that's the ocean. But and I understand that's a lot different than what we deal with. But myself and Miss HR took the boat out the other day, and we fished until almost 9 o'clock. It started to lightning. It's getting very, very dark out. There's no lights on the ramp. So I was worried that I have to get the boat up to the dock, tie it off, go get the car, get it on the trailer when we still have some light going on. Okay. Here's the problem with Miss HDR is once the fish start hitting, she loses track of time. She don't want to leave. And she was banging these crappie out. Like she's catching one after the other. She's like, yeah, just go around one more time. I'm like, we got to start the gas engine. We got to get to the dock, right? Because we weren't far from the dock, but far enough where we got to get off the water. It's lightning. Like we're going to get killed out here. So here's the problem is you get up there and the lake also allows people to take kayaks out, which I was a kayaker. I love kayaks. Don't get me wrong. I like kayaking. But there's a place and a time for a kayak. It's not in the middle of a storm when you're tying up the boat ramp when all these boaters are trying to get their boats out. And they want to pull these kayaks up and leave them sit on the ramp and go get their car down. And then they put them on the roof. They want to tie them up there and just drive you absolutely bonkers. So, Ricky KM, good morning to you. Being a former power boater for many, many years, my wife and I love watching disasters of the guys and girls that get into. Yeah, I don't know. It's like watching car races. People's like, why do you watch car races? People watch them for the wrecks, right? The accidents. You don't want anybody to get hurt, but that's what makes it interesting. Um, People used to always say they watch hockey, and the reason they watch hockey is for the fights, not really the hockey, not the puck, not any of that stuff. But awesome, awesome stuff, guys, this morning. Just so much to talk about. Dean Roberts, love watching yours and Bodine's videos. Even though you guys have gone over to the dark side with the Road Glide. Hey, you know what? Sometimes I'll make a bold statement. Sometimes you just got to ride a better bike, man. Sometimes you just got to ride a better bike and buy a Road Glide. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. If it got 2 to 3 wheels, it's a motorcycle. I'm proud of you guys. I don't care what you ride. There's no one bike better than the other. I think there's one bike that fits you better than another. How about that? We can always say that. I think we can always agree upon that, right? The Road Glide fits me because, and Bob will tell you now that Bob finally bought one after we've been badgering him, is that, where was I going? Oh, there's just more room in the cockpit when you're sitting there. That dash doesn't seem to be like right here on you. And we both had ultra limited, right? So, I had a 2011, Bob had his 2018. But when you get that Road Glide, it's way out there. It's just like, I got so much room in here, and it rides like a Road King. So it's so comfortable and so easy to maneuver and just turn that wheel and steer it. Super cool. But anyway, a motorcycle is a personal thing. To me, a motorcycle is as personal to you as your underwear, right? You might like to wear Hanes underwear. I like to wear whichever ones my wife buys me because I don't buy clothes. Okay, that's another chore that I don't like to do. Matter of fact, I told her I have to go out and buy new work shoes because, work is restarting. And she goes, well, yeah, have a good time doing that, because she hates to go with me to buy shoes because I hate buying shoes. Look how long it took me to buy motorcycle boots, guys. You guys lived through that with me. All right, let me bring this comment up here. Triglide Ed, good morning to you. HDR, you even seen someone with a Ranger boat and a 250 horsepower motor pull up all big headed, back the boat into the water, and then they remembered that the boat trailer that to remove the plug wasn't in. I told Henry that the other night, because we usually don't. HDR made me do it. Made you do what? HDR made me do it. I don't know what he did. Bought the Road Glide. No, I didn't make him buy the Road Glide. No, I talked his wife into buying the Ultra Limited. The Road Glide was all on him. He took a picture of his garage and sent it to us the day he picked it up and said, look what I just did. And then we knew. Prior to that, Bob hated the Road Glide. He still tell you today he doesn't really like the look of it, but he does like to ride. So, think about that. Do you buy a motorcycle? And maybe some of us do. I guess we do. Do you buy a motorcycle for the way it looks or for the way it rides, right? If you buy it for the way it looks, please don't ever test drive it. Just be like, I'll take that one over there. That looks nice. Come on. Really? But anyway. Oh, Bob Nelson was in the Coast Guard, so he knows that there's a lot of boaters that should not be boaters. Hog driver Andy, the Road Glide cockpit. Amen to the roomy. Yeah, it just does feel. It feels roomier. It feels like you got more room in it. I wash my bike more than I wash my underwear, dusty in the wind. That's a good comment. You wearing underwear again. I always wear underwear every day. I think it's very, very important, especially for us older men. We have to take care of life. Gravitational pull is not a good thing for women or men. Road Gliding said the Road King is the same frame and everything, just without the bells and whistles. Yeah, well, what I mean by the Road, but because you're riding it like a Road King, it feels like a Road King, and the fairing is fixed, so it doesn't move. So it's just awesome. I don't know. I don't think you're ever going to get new boots. They'd have to duct tape them. Yeah, if I would have duct taped them boots, I would have been divorced from Miss HDR, because she said I was basically a cheap ass, is what she said. It's just very hard for me to buy shoes and be comfortable, but thank goodness Road Glide Andy told me to buy something that is Gore-Tex, which is rainproof or waterproof, and I did, and they're amazing, dude. I was out with Miss HDR on vacation, and it started raining, and she had her boots are water resistant, so she had to put those on the heater at night to kind of dry them out, and my boots were perfectly fine. My feet was not wet at all. So super awesome. I would always recommend waterproof boots when you buy motorcycle boots. And people said, well, HDR, wait, those are really hot. Nah, they're not any hotter. Oh, they're really, really heavy. No, they're really not any heavier. The ones I showed you, I bought the Bates boots. Now, if you use that link on that video that I did, I think I did a video on it. Or actually, you know what? The link should be on every one of my videos. If you use that link, you'll get $20 off of your purchase. Okay. And what they do then also is they give me $20 off a pair of boots. Okay. So I called them. I said, wait, I've been sending it. A lot of people's been using that link, and that's great. I did that with the company for you guys, not for me. But I said, well, if I got 20 people that bought boots, that's $20 times 20. So that's whatever that is. I said, can I just order a pair of boots? She goes, no, sir. It's only one coupon per one pair of boots. I'm like, but I'm giving you all these people. She said, no, you asked us to give something to your viewers, so that's why we're giving them the $20. So as a referrals or whatever. So, but anyway, that's why I did that. That's for you guys. So if you want to use that, that's great. So Bob Nelson, you leaving us already? Bob, Bob is probably riding to the ocean. Bob rides from Georgia to Florida, Key West, Florida, like every other day. Bob, on top of this is Bob out there on top of old Black Betty. That's so funny. But but he does. So enjoy your day, Bob Nelson. I just got to pull your chain, man. I just have to pull your chain because he did a video and he changed the introduction just for me. Um, People are funny. It's like good time, good time. Harley 103. What is 400? 400. What did I miss something here? Oh, what's with the Indian in the background? Are you thinking about getting an Indian? This one here, this is actually Mrs. HDR's motorcycle. This one right here. So just to let you guys know, this is what she's talked about for the past 3 years. 3 years she's been on an Indian kick. So that's what that picture. It's just it's a picture, guys. It's a screensaver. Not a screensaver. Don't ever tell me that. That's wallpaper. That's a wallpaper. Okay. A screensaver is, remember the fish that used to go across your screen when the computer went to sleep? That's a screensaver. This is a wallpaper there. Now you've been educated by a computer guy. So anyway, but that is the Indian, something we've kicked around for a second bike. We will never get rid of a Harley Davidson. It will always be the Harley Day Rider forever and ever. Amen. And I'm not a motorcycle snob by any means. You guys know that. I've ridden Yamahas, Kawasaki's, Suzuki's, Can-Am Spiders. I've ridden trikes, and I've ridden Indians. Mrs. HDR has this vision of this certain Indian, and it's actually probably going to be a 2014 to 2016 is what she really, really wants. And when you get your wife behind you pushing something, you're going to get it easier than if you have to try to argue with them so you could buy it. And don't ever go out, and buy a brand new motorcycle and just bring it home when your wife comes home from work. Say, hey, look what showed up in the garage. Like, it's right over there. Don't ever do that. That's probably not a good idea. But Tri-Glide had said, amen. You're right. See, don't do that. Yeah, make sure. Yeah, the Gore-Tex stuff is works out. 20 by 20 is 400. Oh, okay. I'm hardly 103. I told you guys I've been up since 4 o'clock, so I'm probably not functioning on all brain cells right at present moment yet. $400, right? So 20 people bought boots at $20 a piece. I called them. I said, it's $400. That's like 2 pair of boots for these baits. And she's like, no, sir, it doesn't work that way. You can't stack them. I said, well. So I said, well, can I take my coupons and can I give them to other people? And she said, sir, we're already giving your other people $20 a piece off their boots. I said, well, that's true. So, but they are awesome. You would love them. I love my Bates boots. I've been wearing them since the military days. And that was in my younger days. So, Tennessee Wingman, good morning to you. Glad to have you on board there. And Tri-Glide Ed, good morning. Pink's Adventures, good morning to you. I am considering the new Sportster for a second bike. Must be my second midlife crisis. Mrs. HDR should ride her own. Buy it for her. Hog driver, she rode, and I have a video up that Bodine and Mrs. Bodine shot for us when we rode the Zero electric motorcycles at the Progressive Motorcycle Show. Go back through my videos. I can't remember if it was 2019, 2018, maybe. Look up that video and you'll see Mrs. HDR actually riding her own motorcycle, the Zero motorcycle. It has a throttle, no clutch or anything, but she was riding a motorcycle. And it's sold out in Midway. Cash Bash is sold out. We were going to go to that, Henry. I talked about that. Yeah. Dean said he would love to see HDR on the back of Mrs. HDR's Indian. That would be awesome. I would ride with her, let her drive and let me ride in the back. That would be awesome. I'd do it in a minute. Okay, so Dean, you're talking about the new Sportster, and man, I agree with you 100%. I think that new Sportster, when I first seen it and first heard about it and first thought about it, I thought, man, they're killing off an iconic brand from Harley. But you know what? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome because when you buy that new Sportster, it's just the same as if you're buying a Pan America without all the bells and whistles, right? Just like Road Glide Andy said, if you buy a Road King, it's just like buying a Road Glide, but without all the bells and whistles. So that new Sportster is going to be like, to me, it's a baby Pan America. So now I don't know. I don't think it's going to. It kind of even looks like that adventure type bike. Like you could probably take it off road too. I believe, from what I've seen so far. So who knows? But so yeah. Now, will you ever see Mr. G? We'll see you later, bud. Take care. Have a good day. Text me anytime, buddy. I always like to talk to you. Maybe we can call one night and actually talk on the phone. So anyway, where was I real quick? Oh, you will never, ever, 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 ever see Mrs. HDR riding her own motorcycle outside that video, riding one at a demo ride. She did that, but she enjoys, loves, absolutely takes her breath away to ride on the back of the motorcycle, be able to look around, take pictures, not have to deal with traffic, not have to deal with the clutch, not have to deal with people, don't have to pay attention, right? She can just be back there, just looking around. She takes pictures on the back of the bike, and she loves to do that. So she said she will never go the other way with that. But good morning, Rocky J. Good to see you in there. Anyway, so would I want Mrs. HDR to ride her own bike? Sure. Yeah, I'd like us to be a husband and wife team out there riding, and hitting the back roads of America, enjoying our lives together. But it's just not her cup of tea. So, and hey, from listening to a lot of guys out there and a lot of people out there, their wives don't even ride with them on the motorcycle. So I got a winning hand. I mean, like I said, Miss HDR will jump on the back of that bike and she'll go 300,000. Well, no, she won't go through. She will jump on the back of that bike and go from here. We did it from here to Wyoming. We spent 2 weeks, 14 days on a motorcycle. And the only complaint that she ever had was one day it was 110 degrees. And it felt like you were riding in a furnace. So we rode like maybe 100 miles, and we just stopped and got a hotel and laid in the pool all day. So, but to me, that's a win. Dean says his wife is the same way. Kelly loves riding on the bike, and has been absolutely no interest in riding her own. See, Dean, and that's awesome. So if you have a wife, if you have a spouse that rides with you, that enjoys what you do. Like fishing, Mrs. HDR, we haven't fished for years, right? And then her daughter started fishing more and coming around. So we started getting our licenses again and fishing. With me, it was a personal thing because when my dad passed away, my dad was always my fishing buddy. And he took me since I was a little boy. And, like all dads do, right? So when he passed away, I kind of like lost interest because every time I went to the lake, I wanted to turn to my left or right and say, "Hey, Dad," and Dad is not there. So it crushed me to the point where I couldn't fish anymore. I couldn't concentrate. And really, fishing is not about concentration. Fishing's about not thinking about it, right? And I tell Henry all the time, just go out there and fish. We have a fish finder now, and if it doesn't beep, he gets a little nervous. I don't care if it beeps or not, dude. I'm just fishing. If I catch a fish, good. If I don't, I don't have to clean anything tonight. That's okay too. Um, but then my daughter got to a certain age and I took her fishing for the first time. So I thought I'd get back into it a little bit. And she didn't catch on. She wasn't really interested. So my other two daughters, Mary's daughters, are like fishing queens. They love to fish. So we got our license and started going with them and hanging out with them and fishing more and getting back into fishing. And obviously now we got the boats, and now myself and Miss HDR go out on the boat and we fish. We love to hang out together. So yeah, if you have a wife that does sort of what you do, but guys, this is my take on it, okay? And I've been married obviously twice, okay? So this is my take on it. I'm going to give you some experience from a guy that was divorced from a woman before and remarried. Okay, I'm going to give you some man knowledge. Okay, sometimes you got to buckle down and do what your wife wants to do, right? Like one time she said, "Will you go to an opera?" And I said, "Hell no, that will never happen." Okay, because I'm honest too. I can't sit through 3 or 4 hours of people screaming and like in another language. That's not going to happen. Uh, so, so no, I didn't. She said, "Would you go to a musical?" I said, "Absolutely, hon. I'll go to a musical with you. I love it because they sell beer there, and I can understand the play, what's going on." So, so yeah, give a little bit, give and take. That's the way life is. That's what makes a beautiful marriage. So, that's my opinion. So, my wife loves riding on the back as well. Hog a Rider 88. Wife rides a Riker 900 now. Rocky J. That's cool. That's a cool little bike. I love those Rikers. I am the same way because of my dad. HDAV, I get it, brother, and you see, I get real emotional when I talk about dad. And the things that you miss with your parents, man, it's just like I don't know. I mean, you guys know I lost my mother, and people say I lost my mother last year. I don't know if that's the proper way to say it. My mom died. I mean, she's not here anymore. She died, right? I didn't lose her. I know where she's at. Um, but but it's hard, man. It's hard. You know, you want to pick up that phone and call your parents like, "Hey, mom," because me and my mother talk like at least once or twice a week, you know, and I'd go see her on the weekend and say hi, have coffee with her. And now I get to have coffee with all you people. Hey, this is just as wonderful, you know. Now that mom can't have coffee anymore, I started coffee with HDR. So you see how this kind of translated into something from something real to something new, right? So, but anyway. Tennessee Wingman. Henry said he's outside my house. He probably is. I'm going to get out of here because I could go out there and we got to get the boat hooked up. My wife wants to ride on the back. No interest in riding her own. I got her on a scooter, Key West, but she wrecked it before it was out of the parking lot. She never tried it again. See, Henry is still chatting because that's how good of friends we are. He's on his phone watching the show outside in my driveway. So I got to go outside, but took my daughter fishing once, caught 3 in 5 minutes, and it was done. She said it was too easy. Well, take her out fishing for something other than bluegill. Take her out fishing for real fish. My cat can catch bluegill with his paw. So yeah, take her out fishing for northern pike or something like that nature. And I think she will find out that it's very, very hard to catch them. So, and you get to share bits and pieces of your parents with all of us. Pretty awesome for them. Dean, thank you very much. And you're right. So, and you know, my parents will live on, man. My parents will live on through my videos, through my vlogs, through my YouTube channel. I talk about them all the time. You know, when you had great parents, it's easy. You know, we had a really, really good upbringing. You'll hear more about that later. So, all right, but I am getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Coffee with HDR. Is as they say in the film industry, is in the can. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's a HDR garage video coming out that is awesome. I did the editing yesterday. It's myself and Henry, and it came out amazing. It's really, even if you're not interested in the topic, watch it anyway because it's just such a good video. I mean, I was proud of it. And I'm usually not proud of most of my videos. So, but thanks for watching. I will talk to you next Saturday. Don't forget, Fireside Chat with the Boys on Bronco Rides channel tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a great guest. You're going to love her. And she's an awesome motorcycle rider. So check that out. And we'll see you back there. Take care, everybody. Remember, ride your own ride. Be safe. Harley Dayrod be down and out from the beautiful HDR studios, along with Custom Dynamics here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day riding.